Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Berry of the Bond Law Firm. I typically work with the Medicaid applications and also the redeterminations and any changes for our clients that apply for Medicaid and acquire our services. I also worked as an eligibility caseworker for Health and Human Services Medicaid Department for a little over 3 years and got pretty good at it. So I'm here to basically help you guys understand the Medicaid process a little bit better because typically in my dealings with Medicaid, now that I'm on the other side, some caseworkers do not know I was previously a caseworker, and sometimes they do not follow the Medicaid rules and regulations that the handbook typically states that they're supposed to follow. One of the biggest problems you guys will run into is what I have on this board here. This is section B 6510, failure to furnish information, and this is typically I'd say on average, the majority of denials that people get when they apply for Medicaid themselves or if the nursing home helps them. These types of denials, sometimes they are correct, many times they are not because of how the caseworker requests the information. So in this aspect, things you want to look at is, the first thing is the caseworker is actually supposed to send you that 1020 or request for information by the 30th day that that application has been on file. If it hasn't been sent out by the 30th day, it's not a valid denial. So if they send this out on the 35th day, the 37th day, the 40th day, and they deny it, it's actually not a valid denial. Another way to look at it is if they don't put the correct information on that form. Things such as the actual name of the bank, the account number, things such as that. If it's not listed on that 1020 request for information, it's probably not going to be a valid denial. So all the time when you guys get these calls last minute from the HHSC caseworker, you do have a way to defend it if they deny it, saying that you didn't return the information in time. So when they call you last minute, that's actually not valid. Something else is that I want to cover is HHSC used to be required to send a notice of request for information and also a request for, a notification of denial rather. That was typically in the, what they call the 4808. That is no longer necessary. They're only required to fill out one form and send you one form of notice of application, of request for information, and that also includes the denial now. That's why typically on the redeterminations, you'll see on the paperwork it says, get this back to us within 13 days of the date on the form. That typically is sent out about 2 months early, so by the time you get it, the family actually has about 6 to 7 weeks to turn it back in before it's going to be a denial. So a couple things to cover real quick is first off, they need to send it off by the 30th day. So that's the first thing you want to look at if it was requested within the first 30 days that the application was submitted. The second thing is, are the correct requests on there? If they just send you a blank form that does not say anything specifically, such as bank account names, account numbers, and the actual dates requested, it may not be a valid request. Something else is if there's something that takes time, such as life insurance, if this caseworker did send this notice of request for information within a certain time frame or earlier, let's say on the 10th or 20th day, and they've requested that specific information, but you can't get it back to them within the time frame given, you can actually request for a delay in certification, and that is carried over in section B 6510, where it actually states delay in certification procedures may be necessary if an applicant or an authorized representative is attempting to obtain the information but cannot meet the deadline. So this is typically something that you run into with life insurance. Life insurance companies typically take around 2 to 3 weeks to actually mail the information to the RP's address or to the client's address, whatever address is on file, and then you can get it to the caseworker. So in these situations, if it goes past the due date, you may be able to request an extension if you can't meet it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to call me, Leslie Berry at the Bond Law Firm at 281-448-4100. And you can also email me at l.berry@bondlawfirm.net, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions, help you guys out. Have a good day.